Hello, welcome all of you to today's lesson, Religious and Moral Education for JHS 1. We are looking at religious homes and neighborhood. And specifically, we'll be looking at Christian homes and neighborhood in this lesson. By the end of the lesson, the student is expected to be able to describe a religious home, describe a religious neighborhood, and then also identify some characteristics of a Christian home or neighborhood. Alright. Religious home defined. Religious home is a place where religious values, virtues, and practices are taught. A place where religious values, virtues, and practices are taught is called a religious home. And so we can say from that Christian home is a home or place where teaching, learning, and practice of Christian moral values take place. So Christian home is a religious home. But here we are looking specifically at which religion. So Christian religion. So a Christian home is a home or place where teaching, learning, and practice of Christian moral values take place. Now, Christian neighborhood. A home is different from a neighborhood. A neighborhood is a small area within a larger town or community. Therefore, we can say that Christian neighborhood is a small area within a larger community which is inhabited by Christians. So, a small area within a larger community which is inhabited by Christians or where Christians live is what we call a Christian neighborhood. So, for example, in your community, there are certain places that are inhabited mainly by Christians. So we call such places Christian neighborhoods. And there are certain places that are inhabited mainly by Muslims. And we call such places Muslim neighborhoods or Islamic neighborhoods. Very good. Now, Christian neighborhoods are characterized with church buildings, Christian activities, baptisteries, and statues of biblical characters, and so on. So, if you enter a community, or when you get into a community, the things that will let you identify that community as a Christian community or as a Christian neighborhood are some of these landmarks which we are mentioning as characteristics of a Christian neighborhood. So in a Christian neighborhood, you don't see shrine, but you see what? Churches, because Christians go to church. You don't see people wearing smokes or long apparels that are worn by Muslims, but rather you see people wearing church clothes going to church. You see statues of, let's say, Jesus Christ. For example, in Roman Catholic communities, you see statues of Mary and some other biblical characters. You see portraits that are pictures or wall hangings of Christian characters or biblical characters, biblical personalities. So these are some characteristics of a Christian neighborhood. Now, characteristics of a Christian home. When you enter a Christian home, what are some of the things you see, or what are some of the things that will identify that place as a Christian home? Is it a Quran? Is it a praying mat? Do Christians use a praying mat? Do they use Quran? No, they don't. So some of the things you see or or you experience in Christian homes is that you hear them singing hymns and gospel songs. Then you see people in Christian homes praying and reading the Bible. These are some of the things that are done in Christian homes. You see Christian artifacts and items like the rosary, the crucifix or the cross, and then some wall hangings of biblical characters. Christian homes are also characterized by cleanliness and godly living. Another important characteristic of Christian home is respect and obedience. In Christian homes, you realize that both children and adults respect one another, and children are taught to obey older people and show respect to their colleagues. Another thing that is common to Christian homes is devotion and fellowship. In Christian homes, you see that at times members of the house gather to have devotions and fellowship. All right. This brings us to the end of our lesson on religious homes and neighborhood. We have not finished with the topic, that's religious homes and neighborhood, but this brings us to the end of the discussion on Christian homes and neighborhood. I think from this lesson we have learned what a religious home is, what a religious neighborhood is. We have learned about some characteristics of a Christian neighborhood and a Christian home. Then, in our next lesson, we'll be looking at Islamic home and neighborhood. But before that, I want you to go to the assignment portion on your portal, and then you see these questions there in Word format. You download, do it, type nicely, and upload it onto the portal. In due time, I will assess them and then score you. Let me read the question for the sake of some people. The first one says, describe a religious home. Number 2 says, describe a Christian neighborhood. Number 3 says, state 2 characteristics of a Christian home. I wish you good luck. Stay safe. Observe all social distancing protocols. And keep learning. Bye-bye.